Well, as we've been hearing, the situation there is complex, making it extremely difficult to get aid to those who need it. With more on that, our diplomatic correspondent Paul Adams is here. Paul.
Yes, Clive, the problem with getting aid to Syria is that a civil war is still being fought there after almost 12 years. Different armed groups are in charge in different parts of the country, especially in the north. Some areas hit by the earthquake, the ones here in red, are controlled by the government and its president Bashar al-Assad. But the areas in dark green are controlled by Turkey and its local allies. The Kurds are in charge in those light green areas, and jihadi rebels hold sway in Idlib province, the area worst affected by the disaster. They are sworn enemies of the Syrian state. Today, President Assad was in Aleppo, visiting survivors, blaming the West for the lack of aid. Aleppo is where his forces and their Russian backers conducted a brutal siege for 4 years, until the last rebels left in 2016. Thousands of fighters and civilians went to Idlib, that jihadi area on the map, one of the last rebel strongholds. There is no effective government here. It's left to volunteer groups like the White Helmets to search for survivors, here rescuing 2 girls in the village of Jandaris. The Syrian government is now claiming that it will allow aid in, but not if it goes to people it regards as terrorists. But that's not the only problem.
The whole UN aid effort into Idlib province is reliant on one border crossing, Bab el-Hawa crossing, that is right in the middle of the zone that's been badly damaged by the earthquake. And that crossing itself is badly damaged. That route is not viable for large-scale aid efforts. And frankly, Syria and Russia kind of like it that way. The whole strategy towards the northwestern part of the country has been to grind it into oblivion through bombing, starvation, and aid blockages. So in that sense, the earthquake and the aid cutoff kind of serves their larger political purposes.
So where does that leave tens of thousands of civilians, most of them refugees, living already desperate lives? Many of those people are in tents and temporary buildings. That, for once, may have helped to save lives. But as long as Idlib remains a rebel stronghold, getting help from the outside world will remain extremely difficult. Clive.
Paul, many thanks. Paul Adams, our diplomatic correspondent there.